12 months ago, Joe Biden handed us a mess. We inherited the legacy of record high inflation, the highest inflation in the history of our country. They say the fake news, ooh, that's a lot of fake news. No, the fake news said it's 48 years. I remember recently I said the highest inflation, the worst.
Unless.
This, by the way, worst in the history of our country. They said
Surely
it wasn't
he would never
the worst.
do that.
It was 48 years. I
That
said,
would never
that's
happen.
okay too. Somehow that sounds even worse than when you say the history, right? 48 years. I accepted that, but I think it was in the history. A mass invasion of our border in our country was being laughed at all over the world. We were being laughed at. We were a joke. We're not a joke anymore.
Nobody's laughing now.
We're not a joke. We're not being laughed at anymore. But today, just after 1 year of President Trump, our economy is booming, incomes are rising, investment is soaring, inflation has been defeated, our border is closed, totally closed.
Man. It's about time.
And America is respected all over the world like they've never been respected. 1 year, I thought it would take us 2 years. I guess I'm following in the great path of John Deere. We got the chairman of John Deere here. Chairman and CEO, that's pretty good. I even signed a John Deere hat for him. He said, I'm going to put this in the museum. I said,
Yeah, I would assume so. No inflation?
It's a great
Yeah,
company,
inflation's
great
been
company.
deleted.
And you
There's
just
no
said
more
you're
of it.
opening up 2 massive plants
It's
because
gone.
of tariffs. You're opening up one in North Carolina, one someplace else. And you're expanding all over the place. You're doing a great job. I bought a lot of
You tell
John
his voice
Deere
when he goes
stuff.
off script. He sounds
I bought a lot
excited.
of
Yeah,
John
he
Deere.
does.
It's a great company. It's an honor to have you. Thank you very much.
Oh, we're from laughing
This
with
has
you
been the
to
most
laughing at
dramatic
us? Is that
1 year
it?
turnaround of any
Oh,
country in
okay.
history. In terms of the speed, I really thought it would take us 2 or 3 years to do what we're doing. You know, we have the greatest, the #1 country anywhere in history in the world, anywhere in history for investment coming into the country.
That's pretty good.
It's amazing, and it's because of tariffs, and it's also because of the fact that we had such a tremendous November 5th. That November 5th brought spirit back to our country, came back. You know, one thing I think which is so important is, if you remember a year and a half ago, we couldn't get people to enlist in the military, any of them. Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines, any of them.
Fucking obviously
the Coast Guard,
not. Yeah.
Space Force. I love Space Force, right? We couldn't get them, and even police departments.
Those are the lasers.
Anybody with a uniform that represented the country, you couldn't get them. And today, we have the single greatest recruitment numbers in the history of our military. The police forces are loaded. Law enforcement is loaded up. And everybody wants to be a policeman, a fireman. They want to be in the military, any branch. I mean, we literally, they couldn't get them a year and a half ago. Nobody wanted to be in the military. Now everybody wants to be in the military. It's an amazing thing that's happened, an amazing turnaround.
Yeah.
And all because we have a president who does something very simple, puts America first, right? Right?
Oh. Put a sticker on the Russia hat? Where is the Russia hat? Oh, it's over there.
Thank you. So under my leadership, economic growth is exploding to numbers unheard of. They've never had them before in recent times, and now, and we're just getting started. You know, the great, big, beautiful bill, which is no tax on tips, no tax on overtime, no tax on Social Security for our seniors. Do we have any seniors in here? Do we have any seniors in here?
Are there any old fucks here? I wonder. I think there's
One
a few.
of the fake news said, he did that because he doesn't want to pay tax on his Social Security. Don't you believe? That's what I never thought of. These are sick people. But despite the fact that we've just really started, it's just kicking in because we inherited such a horrible situation with all of the high prices and the inflation and everything else. And by the way, the open borders, we had millions and everything you see today wouldn't happen. They opened the borders, but we had a 5.4%.
He's right.
And since the election, the stock market has set 52 all-time highs, adding $9 trillion in value to your savings, retirement account.
Do not care.
And 401ks.
Yep.
So.
Not important.
401k
Fake
people,
numbers.
I mean, of which you got a lot of people. Does anybody have a 401k in the audience?
Nope.
A lot of
I ain't
people.
got shit.
So you're setting records, right? The highest it's
I got
ever been.
shit.
They say this, the good stock market. They say, well, this stock market, they can't get, they just try so hard. This stock market doesn't affect the middle class. I say it does. What about a 401k? What about all the other things? What about the fact that they're making more salary than they've ever made? But the stock market's the highest. How is John Deere stock doing? Great? All-time high?
Let me look. I'm looking up
Everyone,
right now.
I don't have to even ask the question. I mean, I made a lot of people rich. Me, I just keep working.
John Deere stock.
I made a lot of people rich. I made a lot of people rich that I don't even like. I got a lot of people that I don't like at all, and I've doubled their net worth. But after 4 years in which Biden got less than $1 trillion in new investment, think of it. He took in substantially less in 4 years than $1 trillion.
All-time high? That's a high one,
We secured commitments for a record-breaking plus $18 trillion. So in 1 year, we did over $18 trillion, and he did less than $1 trillion.
We're going to pay off the debt with that, right? The $38 trillion.
Just over 1 year ago,
Okay,
under
never
Sleepy
mind.
Joe Biden and the radical left lunatics, we were a dead country. We were a dead country. I'll tell you, 1 year ago, a little more than 1 year ago, we were a dead country. The king of Saudi Arabia told me that. You've heard me say it. He said it better than anybody else. He said, I can't believe it. A couple of months ago, a few months ago.
Not to mention the
He said,
subscriptions
a year ago,
on the
you were a
tractors.
dead
Is that
country.
right?
Now you're the hottest country anywhere in the world. He said, I can't believe it. And today I'm pleased to announce one more historic investment. The great American company that we just talked about is doing so much. I have to give it really. I buy so much equipment from so many of the people in the. We have a lot of very successful companies in here, but I know it's a very special deal because John Deere is doing $70 million in factory in North Carolina. It's brand new, the best in the world. And I think it's going to pay off very, very big. And if it doesn't, I have nothing to do with it. But if it does, I'm going to take full credit. But what it is an excavator factory, as I understand it, and it's going to be the only excavator factory.
Like that.
In other words, excavators. We all know I love those excavators. Believe it or not, I know a lot about them. We don't make them here. This is going to be the only excavator entirely made in the United States of America. So that's good. That's good. I love it.
Wow.
I love it.
Wow.
It's great. And they'll all come. I hate to tell you, but they're all going to
crazy.
be coming too. You can have some competition, but you'll be ahead of them. If congressional Democrats had their way this year, would right now be facing the largest tax hike. So they wanted to give you, this is what I was running against, the largest tax hike in the history of our country. I wanted to give you the largest tax cut in the history of our country.
Well, that's a pretty easy decision, right, guys? Well, shit.
And if they won, this country would be cratering right now.
Cratering?
So I've cut a record number of job-killing regulations. The reason our job numbers are so good. And remember,
how does he know that word?
I've cut hundreds of thousands of federal jobs. Now, if I didn't do that, our numbers would be even more through the roof. Or I could get them. You know what they do? In order to have decent numbers, they hire 1 million people. You hire 1 million people, all of a sudden you're down to 3.5%. We don't do that. We get rid of that job where you have 10 jobs for you have 10 people for every job. And they are all now, and they hated me. They hated me. Now they love me. You know why? They all got jobs in the private sector, making twice as much money as they made from the federal government, sometimes much more than
Maybe they might have to work now.
So a year ago, they hated me, and now they love me.
Wow, that's convenient.
But it includes dozens of burdensome regulations that were crushing our amazing farmers. We love our farmers. We won this thing. I think I'm at 97% with farmers. Well,
that's a lot of
who
farming.
the hell is voting for Kamala?
He's still talking about this.
It was a crazy election.
It's been over a year.
We were doing great against Biden. Our whole nobody even knew who the hell Kamala was. All I knew she was the border czar. We had millions of people pouring through, and she was the border czar. So I like that. But I will tell you the amazing. We didn't know much about her. And when you're running a campaign, you're focused on the person you're running against.
Every chance he gets.
Sleepy Joe Biden, crooked. I call him Crooked Joe, Sleepy Joe. They're both accurate. And we're running against him. All of a sudden, he's way down in the polls, down by a lot. And all of a sudden, they take him out and they put him in. This is like, I told Dana White the other night, it's like taking a fighter, putting him in, he's getting the hell beat out of him, you take him out, and you put a new fighter in. I said, that's not fair, but that's what happened to me. The stuff that happened to me can only happen to me. But I repealed the Biden's EPA ridiculous water restrictions to keep federal bureaucrats off your land and out of your business. That was a big one.
You know what's going to happen if Kamala Harris runs again?
That was a big one.
I'm going to get so many YouTube videos.
I terminated the so-called diesel exhaust fluid requirement. You know what that is?
No, I don't know what that is.
Saving family farmers more than $1 billion a year. And we're going to do a lot more. We're going to do something on tractors. You know, they never took we did it with cars. We took all that nonsense off the cars. You couldn't start your car. You'd have to go to MIT to get somebody to fix your car.
What?
With all the crap they had on it, in order to save a quarter of a glass of this much little tiny bit of gas. These people are crazy. And I'm going to do that, I think, for tractors, too, because we're going to get the tractors back where...
I mean, making things where they can be repaired easily is a huge thing.
Well, you don't have to be a PhD in order to start your tractor.
No, he's right about this.
Keep the environment clean.
That's what Apple does.
So
it's fucking annoying.
I think it makes the environment dirty, actually. And very importantly, on day one, I kept my promise to the people of Iowa and abolished the insane electric vehicle mandate, which would have obligated you to go out and buy an electric car, but it would have obliterated a thing called ethanol. Do you like ethanol?
Electric cars are gay.
Is it big?
Super gay. Big gay.
A lot of people are asking me about ethanol. I don't know. I don't know. Do you want me to do something with ethanol? Maybe.
Huge
After years of the United States getting ripped off by other countries on trade, I'm standing up for the workers and the farmers of our country like no other president has ever. No other president's done this.
You still do, yeah.
I mean, no other president.
Mechanic, this is huge.
I could have an ACC presidency. I probably have this little piece of ear back, you know?
Oh, yeah.
Could have it, and I wouldn't have to listen to lunatics like this up there. I wouldn't have to listen, isn't that nice?
Ho's mad. You hear her?
Thank you. Boy, they're good here. Do we love our law enforcement? They work very quickly. But under Sleepy Joe, we had the largest trade deficit in world history. But in 1 year, I've slashed our gaping trade deficit by a staggering 77%. How about that?
That's a lot of money.
What about that? That's pretty good, right?
It's an assload of money.
77. Nobody's ever seen that.
How'd you get past security?
You know, if you slash your trade deficit by
Probably
1%, you're like a genius. They say, oh, he's very electable. He's not so electable. I did 77. I did something else, favored nations on drugs. We now are paying the lowest price anywhere in the world for drugs. In other words, we're matching favored nations. It's called most favored nations. Every other president tried for it. They didn't try very hard. They didn't get anything. I got it done. I got all the nations to agree. You think that was easy?
No.
I said, if you don't agree, we're going to put tariffs on you. They said, we agree. We agree.
Well, that's pretty easy. Yeah, how about that?
So you'll have a pill that costs $10, as an example, costs $10 in London, costs $130 in Des Moines.
Sounds like
and now it's going to cost $20. Think of it. You'll go from $130 down to it's the biggest price reduction of prescription drugs in history.
Wow.
Going to have a huge impact on your
healthcare,
too. I was very proud of it. And you know, the fake news, I can't get them to talk about it. Think of it. I got the biggest price reduction in history on drugs, pharmaceuticals. I can't get these guys to talk about it. It was page like 22 in the New York Times, a little story. I just got the biggest, I can't believe it. If a Democrat got a half a point down, this is like hundreds of, depending on the way you want to calculate it, You could say it's an 80% reduction,
Skill
or
issue,
you could
don't
say
get
it's
sick.
1,000%
You think that's
reduction.
it?
You could say whatever you want, but
The guy on the left
it's
is
the
so
biggest
happy.
reduction.
Yeah, look at him. Look at his
in
face.
history by many, many times. I did something because we were subsidizing the entire world. We were paying 10 times, in many
He's
cases,
nodding along.
more money than the rest of the world. And I said it wasn't fair. And I got it done. And everyone said you can. They said,
so
you'll never
happy.
get other countries to agree.
Unc is
They
happy.
said, I said,
he
yes,
is.
I will. They said, you'll never get the other countries to agree. I got the drug companies. That was not easy, I want to tell you, but that was not so bad. But they even told me, we'll agree to it, but you'll never get the other countries. I said, 100% I will. Why wouldn't I get them? And I called Macron of France. I said, you got to double
Please
the
do
price
the
of
accent.
your drugs.
Please do the
He
accent.
said, no, I will not do that. What was the story with his glasses the other day? What the hell was that all about? But anyway, I got them all. I don't want to go into a long story. Bottom line, I said, I'm going to increase tariffs by 25. I'm going to charge you 25% tariff if you don't do it. They said, we will do it. We would be, why don't you ask? We'd love to do it.
Pre-watched.
So I got something done that no other president could have gotten done, and no other president. I don't even think they tried. You want to know the truth? You think Biden was thinking about it? He just was thinking about how the hell to get off the stage.
Help his dad with the phone. Look, watch.
Remember, the guy could never find that. You have so many ways. You can jump off the front if it really gets. You got stairs all over the place. The guy could never find his way off the stage. This was not a good sign.
Oh, it's another.
But I made new fair trade deals with countries covering half of all U.S. trade.
Another one.
You do know they're paid agitators, right? They're paid. They get paid. You know, do you ever see their signs? You know, we used to have protests, and you'd have guys making a sign in a basement.
Yeah, sure.
These are all paid agitators. That's all they are. They get paid to go, and they don't even know what. When they interview them, why are you here? I don't know. They have no idea. They're paid insurrectionists, really, in some cases. They're sickos. But I've made new fair trade deals with countries covering half of all U.S. trade, scoring giant wins for the farmers, ranchers, and agricultural producers like no other president has ever done. That's why I got such a tremendous
I actually
vote from
wonder
the
if he's
farmers, and
seen
I
my
love you
stream
too.
before.
I do love you too.
I feel like there's at least a 5% chance
So
that's
Japan
happened, right? He's at least
will
seen
now
one
allow
clip.
the United States to supply up to 100% of automobile
I really wonder.
automotive ethanol, and import large amounts of aviation biofuels from the United States. That's great for you. That was part of the deal that we made. The United Kingdom will import nearly $1 billion of ethanol. That's part of their deal.
$1 billion.
Australia is allowing American beef into its market for the first time in more than 20 years. Did you know that?
You know what American beef is?
And beef
Horses.
is doing great, and we got to get the prices down a little bit, and they're starting to come down pretty much. China
Bring
has
back
agreed to
$2
purchase
steaks.
over $40 billion of U.S.-grown soybeans. You know that. You're selling them.
China's buying all of our beans. I thought they could make beans.
And I went to President Xi, and he's upping it. I mean, it's $40 billion. The European Union will dramatically increase purchases of American pork, dairy, and soybean oil. They never did that before. They're all doing things that they never did before, because you have a certain president that's a little bit different from the presidents that you had before. And nations from Cambodia to Thailand to the Philippines and Indonesia are eliminating all trade barriers to agricultural products. Your agricultural products had trade barriers that didn't allow them to be sold in countries that are now saying, oh, please, we'd love to accept your product.
Oh, wow.
So that's great. It's going to be, you're going to see it starting to kick in now for the farmers. And to further help our farmers recover from the really a catastrophe of the Biden years. What a period of years that we had.
What a period of
years. We had a
years.
country that was just dead. We had a country that was just not respected by anybody.
Everything was gay and retarded.
We had a guy who didn't know where the hell he was. Do you think he worried about his farmer at night? No. He just wanted to go to sleep.
Yeah. Remember that?
This is what we had. This is what we had in our fake election. We recently issued $12 billion in farm relief. We gave them
today.
because you were screwed.
It was
by other
something
countries.
stupid,
said,
so I
how
didn't
much
read
is the
it.
number? To our great
That's how it is.
Secretary of Agriculture, Brooke Rollins. She's doing a great job. I said, Brooke, what's the number? And she said $12 billion. And I wrote a check for $12 billion because we have so much money from the tariffs coming in. So you couldn't have done that before. We're a rich country now. I hope we win that Supreme Court case. You know, we have people that are China-oriented. They're people from literally that very China-oriented and foreign country-oriented trying to stop that, but we'll get it done one way or the other.
I don't even know about that.
If we have to do it a different way,
Biden made us look stupid.
But we're taking in hundreds of billions of dollars. We're doing amazing. Nobody can even believe it. Foreign countries cannot believe what's happened. They're studying us.
Nobody can believe it.
Won't work.
Nobody
But
knows.
I'm also working hard to expand your markets domestically and in the campaign. I promise to support E15 all year round.
E15? What's that? Yep.
Yes. Should I do it, Kaufman? Should I do it? I did. I promise E15 all year round if I get elected. And I want to let you know, and we'll start right now. I was going to put out a statement a week ago. I said, hold it.
Expedition
I'm coming to
15?
Iowa to make a
right?
speech. I'm not going to put out a truth. I'm not going to put. I want to be there in person to tell them, the people of Iowa, to know that I am trusting Speaker Mike Johnson, who's great.
Isn't it crazy? This guy's almost 80.
Leader John Thune, who's great. That's House and Senate.
Man.
To find a deal that works, we've got it. For farmers, consumers, and refiners, including small and mid-sized refiners. In other words, to get E15 approved.
Yeah, he's just been going in for a bit.
They're very close to getting it done. So I just wanted to let you know that. Yeah? And China will be sending me a bill very shortly supporting year-round E15 to my desk very quickly, and I will sign it without delay. Okay?
Amazing.
I hope you remember us for the midterms. You know, the worst thing about the midterms is the fact that no matter what happens, the people that win the presidency, you win the even if you're a good president. I think we had the best first year of any president ever, maybe they say.
Of course.
But
I mean, obviously.
Even if you have any great...
I mean...
It's like...
Duh.
In the last 50 years, they've won it twice. Can you believe it?
No, booze
Something
very helpful.
happens, there's a screw turns with the voters.
You only
so even if
drink
it's
soda.
a Democrat or Republican, whoever wins the presidency has a hard time with the midterm. If we lose the midterms,
what happens?
You'll lose so many of the things that we're talking about.
Gonna make,
so many of the assets that we're talking about. So
again.
many of the tax cuts that we're talking about. And it would lead to very bad things. We got to win the midterms. I mean, I'm here because I love Iowa, but I'm here because we're starting the campaign to win the midterms. We got to win the midterms. That means Senate, and it means House.
Trump will be impeached. They're going to do another one of those?
Got to win them. It's crazy. You know, you think it would be like a 50-50 deal or something. It's like, for some reason, and this is Democrat too. Democrat wins the presidency. For some reason, they lose the midterms. Now, maybe they don't campaign as hard because they've I don't know, but I campaign hard. We got to win the midterms. So remember that you got to get out. And
so he's out there.
The midterms are very important. We're gonna
Let me check
really
what
work
the probability
hard on
is
the midterms. We have great candidates
that he runs again.
Again, Senate and House. We have great candidates. We got to win them, and we have candidates that rule with common sense, not this craziness. You know, we're not going to be supporting transgender for all. Men and women's sports.
No.
Open borders. Open borders.
Transgender for everybody.
The worst is open borders because, you know, I take care of things. And
Donald Trump's at 4%.
Very quickly and all. But this open border thing, you know.
4%.
It's a lot of work. You're taking criminals that they allowed into our country where the jails are opened up. Remember the jails, the prisons all over all over the world. They're opened up. The Congo, all over South America, Venezuela, they opened up their jails.
That's a lot.
We got to get them out. I mean, it's really, really, we can never forget what that group of
It's crazy they just let a bunch of legals in the country. It is. A bunch of fucking retards.
And we've got to win the midterms. That's why we've got to win the midterms.
Yeah.
As we bring trillions of dollars pouring into our country from overseas, we're also making America affordable again, a problem caused totally by the crooked Joe Biden administration.
I've heard about him.
I mean, you know, I inherited this problem. They say, prices are too high. I just took over. They said, I'll never forget, I come here, I'm in 3 days, I have a news conference, 3 days into my
I feel like I have to go to one of these.
What about the price of eggs? They've gone up like 5 times more. I said, I just got here, I didn't know.
I feel like I should go to one of these events.
And we got eggs down very quickly, remember? But I was standing there, I'm so happy.
Because he just says the same things over and over,
I thought the press was
right?
going to be so nice. And some lunatic right there, actually. What about the price of eggs? Eggs have gone up. I said, oh, tell me, give me a little, because I don't know. I just got here, I'm sorry. Yeah. But I fixed it. Now I fixed it pretty much all, but it's going to go down even further. No, but they caused the problem. And then they came up, you know, it's a word that they came up with, affordability. Every time you hear the word, remember, they're the ones that caused the problem. And
I think they both did. I think everybody caused the problem.
It was like a few months ago.
They all did.
This election's all about affordability. Mm-hmm. Well, they're the ones that caused the problem. But nobody knows that. You know, people forget. So they say, oh,
they always want to blame each other, but they're all fucking this up together.
No, affordability. They caused a tremendous price increases. It was caused by the worst inflation we've ever had.
Trump do speeches in Texas? Maybe I should go.
And they come up with this word, affordability.
If I could stream it.
And I saw it even, although you're not hearing it so much anymore. You know why? Because the prices are coming down so much. They don't want it to be an election based on lower prices. Yeah. But we're bringing down the lower, I like that term better. It's a lower prices. Mm-hmm. We're bringing them down. But we inherited the highest prices in the history of our country, and we've rapidly brought them down. And that's what we want to do.
Man.
Did you ever see them where they're being interviewed? This will be an election on affordability. And I say that, but they never talk about it after. That's all they say. Mm-hmm. They just say affordability.
People can't afford shit,
Mr.
man.
Chairman, right? They
That's
never
the problem.
They don't talk about what do they mean.
It's like you go to the grocery store,
you know,
everything's
look,
expensive.
People are doing a lot of things. You're not into politics that much, although you like it. You like Trump, but you're not into politics. But you're not going to go back and examine. All you know is, oh, therefore, I guess that means they did a good job. They almost destroyed our country. They were pricing you out.
Yeah, they made shit really expensive. I think it was COVID. COVID made everything so expensive.
I was told,
it was insane.
I'm saying $1.99 today.
Even
Iowa.
like at Wendy's.
I was told that it was $1.85 it hit a gallon in Iowa.
Especially at Wendy's.
And you know, that's like a massive tax cut. That's actually like a massive tax cut. So the Biden nightmare cost a typical American family $34,000 in 4 years. But after 1 year of Trump, real wages are already up more than $2,000. Think of it. That's a $5,000 swing.
Chipotle?
Much faster.
Yeah.
Wages have gone up much faster. Think of this than inflation. With him, it was just the opposite. Wages in the United States in the last year have gone up. And remember, the first part of the year, actually, you could say almost the first year, I was fixing the country from the horror show that we inherited. Grocery prices, airfares, hotels, car payments, and rent prices have all come down, and they've come down very fast. And thanks to our tax cuts, millions of Americans will soon receive record-setting tax refunds, an average of more than $1,000. Think of that, $1,000 compared to last year, $1,000 just in what you're going to save with some of the tax cuts. And that number goes up exponentially over the course of 4 years.
I believe that when I see it.
I mean, it's amazing. It's called the Great Big Beautiful Bill.
I believe when I see it. People are hiring again? Is that right?
You know, one other thing that you get that's I thought was so great. I came up with it. You know, very rich people get deductions.
They do.
Middle income people don't get deductions.
Not as many. He's right.
I said, why is it that when a rich person buys something, they get a deduction on interest, but when somebody that's working like hell, they don't get it if they want to buy a car? And I said, why can't somebody buying a car in America, only if it's made in America, if it's made in some other country, we have no interest. So I got it approved in the Great Big Beautiful Bill. You get a full tax deduction against your income tax. You get a full tax deduction. Think of it. What? If you purchase a car in America, if you borrow money, the interest that you're paying on that borrowed money is a full deduction for your tax purposes. And that's a tremendous deal. And you know what? It's also great for the car companies, because the car companies are going to be making a lot more cars. They couldn't believe it.
Yeah, I didn't hear about that at all.
So just remember me as you take those deductions, please.
Man.
The king of deductions. No, but it was always unfair the way a lot of people got treated. You take
totally
that deduction. One of those who will be seeing a big benefit thanks to our tax
Same
cuts
with
is Erica.
That's a huge one.
Where's Erica? Is she here? Erica? Where is Erica? Where
King of deductions,
she's
is that
so
right?
Beautiful. I'm not allowed to say that anymore. If I say a woman is beautiful, that's the end of your political career, you know?
Oh,
but
God.
She is beautiful. How are you? Congratulations. What a good story. She's the general manager at Whiskey River Bar in Ankeny, Iowa.
Okay.
Which, as you know, I visited strongly a couple of times in the campaign.
Yeah.
And Erica's been able to hire many new employees, and they're each going to be taking home thousands and thousands of dollars extra because of the no tax on tips. And she's got a lot more people wanting to work for her, too, because of that no tax on tips. That's just one of many. How's that working out,
Thank
Erica?
God.
Good? You want to come up and say a few words? Come on up, Erica.
Oh, boy, here we go.
Come on up.
Thousands, yeah, exactly.
And while she's coming up, also with us is Judy Waldron from Davenport. Judy works part-time as a bartender, and her husband, Chris, is an electrician who works hours on overtime each week.
Right.
Their family is going to save thousands of dollars on no tax on overtime and no tax on tips, which they'll use to prepare for retirement. And I want to thank you, Judy. Where's Judy?
How about that?
Come here. Where's Judy? Come on up, Judy. Get up here. Come on up. They're totally unprepared for this, but what the hell, right?
Oh, my God.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, President Trump. No tax on tips is huge for everyone in the service industry. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Congratulations.
Thank you.
That's it? Yeah.
I would just like to say the same thing. Thank you very much. We appreciate it.
Thank you very much, Andy. Good luck.
Man, just pings.
Thank you, buddy.
Jesus Christ. So he just
I
brings two young
refuse to
women
say
up.
they're beautiful. I refuse. But they're beautiful. Do all people look like that in Iowa? I don't think so. Thank you both. Congratulations, too. Great. That's great. We're not supposed to come up, but I looked at both of them and I said, get up here. We're also pleased to be joined by Governor Kim Reynolds. Kim, thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Kim. Great.
Oh, my God.
A man who's become a real star, Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent. Scott.
Oh, man. Yep, you got 3 more years.
He's become a star.
3 more years.
He's done a real job. He knows his business. And he's a big cutter. He cuts a lot of things. Small business administrator, another
Dirty
real
old
star,
grandpa.
Kelly Loeffler. Kelly. Thank you, Kelly.
It is what it is.
Thanks, Kelly. Great person. Those are great people.
God.
Also with us are
Is he campaigning
Representatives
again? Yes, he
Ashley
is.
Hinson. These are people running for
You
office.
thought it was
We have
over.
to vote 'em.
It's not over.
Randy Feenstra, Marionette Miller Meeks, and Zach Nunn.
Yep.
I want to thank you. Thank you. And I want to tell you that they're all great and they're all running and they should be in good shape, but you got to get out and vote. Got to get out and vote. Iowa Attorney
You gotta get rid of
General
the illegals. That's what
Brenna
you gotta
Bird.
do.
Where's Brenna? Hi, Brenna.
If you don't
Boy,
do
she
that,
was
it's gonna be a
early to
problem.
endorse me. She was so early. We appreciate it. We'll never forget that. That was great. Thanks a lot, Brenna. And you're doing well. I hear you're doing great, right? Thank you.
Surely.
She's running again.
Surely.
You got to vote for her. State House Majority Leader Bobby Kaufman. Bobby.
Bobby? Who's
Guys,
Bobby?
You gotta move her there. Thank you, Bobby. Great job. Great
Has
family.
to say that? Yeah, exactly.
Former State Senate President Leader. Now, I have to tell you about this guy. He endorsed me, the first person in the entire United States of America. It was a year before I even knew I was running, he endorsed me. He endorsed me because he thought I would be good. I wasn't even thinking about running. He was so early. He was the first person in the United States, before my wife, before my kids. State Senate president. He's the Marlboro man. He looks like the Brad Zahn. Where's Brad?
Man.
Where are
he's
you,
just
Brad?
calling everybody out.
Come on up here. Get up here, Brad.
Oh, my God.
And state representatives Heather Hora, Derek Wolf, Brooke Bowden, and many other wonderful members of the Iowa State House. I want to thank you all for being here. Brad, you got to say, look at this guy. Can you talk, Brad?
Oh, boy, here we go. He's on something today? Yeah, he is. He's really on one. Usually
Well,
he's
it's an
not this
honor
energetic.
to be here.
He's been going
And
on.
you know, my wife is a Fox News junkie, and she loves Laura Ingraham.
I bet she does.
And I tell her, I said, enjoy every second, because you are the GOAT. Promises made, promises kept. Thank you.
Man.
Great job. He's the Marlboro man, right?
Didn't
He could
expect
do
this,
that.
yeah.
Do whatever he wants.
Well, he just calls people up
He was so
randomly.
early. I said, who the hell is that guy in Iowa that keeps
Yeah.
endorsing me? Thank you, Brad. We won't forget. The Trump administration has done more in 12 months than most administrations achieve in 4 years or 8 years. We've done a lot. I've recently introduced my plan to repair the damage of the Unaffordable Care Act, the worst disaster, which now costs many families more
Remember
than a
whenever you
mortgage.
had to pay
If
for
you look,
insurance? That was
the number
crazy.
came out, it's a bigger cost than a mortgage, and it's bad health care. Obamacare was
Like, I had
created
to pay
to
the
make
fine,
insurance
'cause I didn't
companies
do
rich
it.
with government subsidies. I want all that money
Yeah,
that
remember
gets
that?
paid to the
Yeah.
insurance companies
So
to get
stupid.
paid directly to the people. That's all I want.
So dumb.
So that you can buy better health care at a lower cost. The problem is the Democrats don't want to do that because they are owned by the insurance companies. So they say, oh, we don't want to do that. I want the money to be paid to the people to go out and buy their own health care. You'll buy much
Imagine
better
that.
health care. You have a lot of money left over.
I believe that more
And I'm
when I
also
see
making
it, you know.
it a lot easier to buy a thing called a house, the American dream.
I've heard of
Last week
those.
I signed an executive order to ban Wall Street and large institutional investors from buying up all the single-family homes in America,
Yeah, see, this is a big one right here.
because we don't want America to become a nation of renters, and that's what they
Exactly.
forced happen. I mean, you have these companies, they own 5,000
Then why have a 50-year
houses,
mortgage?
20,000. One has hundreds of thousands of houses. We don't want that. We want people to be able to buy houses. At the same time, I want to keep the value of the house very high of those people who already own a house. We're not forgetting about
He's
them.
still smiling.
Because they don't necessarily match those
He's
two
so
things,
happy.
You know, we get the
Talk is
prices
cheap.
down. Well, what does that do? Very important to me, more important to me, is, you know, people have become rich by owning their home. We're going to keep them nice and rich. Is that okay? You know, nobody, I'll bet you've never heard
It's
that
true.
before, right?
There's a lot of people that
But
are
people own a
millionaires just 'cause
home,
they
and
own
for
a
the
house.
first time, their home, it's a certain, we're not going to bring that price down. I
Yeah.
want to say, let them be rich. But we're strengthening
crazy.
Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac that you've heard about. And in the last 12 months, those institutions have supported over 22,000 Iowa families in purchasing
That's
or
a lot.
refinancing, and saved over 3,000 Iowa families from
He loves
losing their
campaigning.
homes.
He does.
We've come out and really helped a lot of people keep your home. And despite a bad Fed chairman, a guy that has no, we call him too late. He's too late. Jerome Too Late Powell, he's too late.
Too late for what?
He wasn't too late before the Democrats on the election, then he was too early. But he wants to keep rates as high as possible. Despite
Gonna
that,
keep
we've
houses
driven
expensive,
rates
but
down.
make them
You know,
cheaper?
when you're really
Yeah.
good, you can get them
That
down
makes sense.
despite everything,
That's
because
how it is.
ultimately, it just sort of follows nature. Mortgage interest rates are now at the lowest level in 3 years, and new mortgage applications are up 30%. By the way, well, we have a great Fed chairman. I
Wow.
think we're going to have one. I'll announce it
I
pretty
don't know if
soon.
that's true, but that's a lot.
You'll see rates come down a lot. And
It's always hard to
refinancings
know.
are up 100% compared to the end of the Biden term. Up 100%. We're also working tirelessly to bring back a thing called law and order. You know, there was a time.
Here we go. Here we go. All right. I've been waiting on this.
So there was a time that you weren't allowed to use the words law and order.
Okay.
I like that guy. You weren't allowed to use the term law and order. You weren't allowed to use the term Christmas. Merry Christmas, everybody, right? Remember that 2016? I ran on, we're going to bring back Christmas. We did. Now they're afraid to suggest it, but we brought that back. But law and order, we need law and order. And we have the lowest crime rate now in the history of our country. That's
wow.
Good. But we'll do even better.
Are you telling me that deporting the illegal
and as everyone is aware, we've totally and completely closed the southern border with little fanfare, but tremendous success. Where the southern border is closed, nobody's coming in.
Oh, do you have a source for that?
That's right. Nobody is able to come into our country except for those that come in legally. We want to have people come in legally. We need people to come in legally, but they have to show that they can love our country, not hate our country. They have to show that they're not going to blow up our shopping centers, blow up our farms, kill people. They're coming in legally, but they cannot come in unless they come in legally into our country, and we're letting some great people come in. They have to show that they can love our country. They have to be proud. Not like Ilhan Omar. Did you see that wise guy? You know, she's always talking about the Constitution provides me with the following. You know, the Constitution, she comes from a country that's a disaster. It's considered, I think, the worst. It's not even a country.
Bro.
Okay? It barely has a government. I don't think it does.
That's crazy.
They go to one thing, pirates. But they don't do that anymore. You know why? Because they get the same treatment from us as the drug dealers get.
Yeah, what happens?
Boom, boom, boom.
Man, I can't believe you have 7 more years of this.
I don't care what ship they're attacking. When they attack, when we say them going in, ping,
7 more years.
It's amazing. You know, I don't know if you know, drugs coming in by water is down 97%.
Wow.
And we're trying to find out who the other 3% is, because we consider them the bravest people in the world.
Yeah, we're going to let them in.
Who the hell are the 3%? But it's down 97%.
Trump just called the fucking drug runners brave.
The land is much easier than the sea. You had to do the sea first. But
kind of based, honestly.
We haven't exactly helped the
kind of
luxury
based
fishing business, I would say. Would you like to go fishing? No, thank you. I'd rather. Let's go deep sea fishing today. Let's go on another boat, deep sea fishing. Sorry about that. But it's down 97%. We've done a job. I'll tell you, we've made our country respected again. The greatest military. We have the greatest military in the world. You know, I rebuilt our military in our first term, and we have the greatest military in the world. So you read much about Minnesota, where, unbeknownst to the public, we have brought down crime very substantially in Minnesota. We've taken out thousands of hardened, vicious, horrible criminals.
Yeah.
You don't read about.
Yeah.
You don't read about things like Washington, D.C., where there is virtually no crime, and it was horrible a year and a half ago.
They just got rid of it.
Tennessee, which was a real disaster, and now it's down.
Most of the crimes is
crime
ice.
has dropped by 78% in the last 2 months. New Orleans, Louisiana. I was asked by the governor of Louisiana to help them with New Orleans. It was a disaster, and crime is down 54% in about 3 weeks. You don't read about that. And we've done all of this by taking thousands of criminals out of these states. We took over 2,000 people out of Washington, D.C. These were criminals.
Deporting criminals makes crime go down.
About 2% of the population.
No way.
It's a very simple business. 2% of the population causes 90% of the crime. So when you start decimating that 2%, boom, that's why we have the. It's an amazing number when you think. It's just crime over and over and over. 2% creates 90% of the crime. Isn't that amazing? It's not that complicated, is it? In 1 year, we've achieved the largest drop in the murder rate in the history of our country. Drug overdose deaths are down by 21%, the largest drop ever recorded. We got to do better than that. And I've designated the drug cartels as foreign terrorist organizations. Big deal. And despite the strong efforts of
Wow.
the fake news media, we are starting to see
Guys.
the historic success reflected
Guys.
in tremendous polls. We have great polls. In last week's Rasmussen
Wow.
poll, we're leading among Hispanic voters. We're leading by a lot. Nobody's ever seen a Republican lead among Hispanic voters.
I don't know what to say.
Hispanic voters don't want crime. People don't realize that. Hispanic
That's
voters want
insane.
strong voters because they know what's coming in and they don't want them. They're great. They've been great. We
How
did
the
so great
fuck?
in the election with Hispanic voters. We did so great with black men. We did so great with white everything. In yesterday's RMG poll, a clear majority of Americans support our deportation policies by a margin of 10%.
Wow.
Now, I don't know why 10%, because I don't
I
think it's
missed
even.
this. This is
I mean,
crazy.
wouldn't you say like 100%? Who the hell would be against? Maybe somebody that hates our country. In a recent Harvard-Harris poll found that 80% of Americans support our unprecedented operation to deport criminal aliens. In other words, 80%, that's more like it,
Wow.
of the people
That's a lot.
support our operation to
All white everything.
remove
That's
really
right.
dangerous, bad people out of our
White
country.
everything. Whoa. That's going on Twitter for sure.
And in a Reuters poll that just came out, Republicans are leading on the economy by a lot and leading on immigration by a lot. And the crime, they're leading by a real lot, by almost 20 points. And in real clear politics average net approval, the Republican Party is more than 10 points more popular than Democrats. And I don't even understand that. How can you, 10 points is considered a lot.
Yeah, it's a
To
lot.
me, I mean, how is it 10 points when we've done all these things? They've done
SSRI
only destroying
Karens.
our country. They
Yeah.
are destroying, they would destroy. I'm telling you, if Kamala won,
Yeah.
or any of them, I think Gavin Newsom is worse because, I mean, he's destroyed California.
It's on
If
fire,
they
literally, like
won,
every year.
If they win, that group, that ideology wins,
Yep.
you will be Venezuela on steroids. And I've said it for years. And you know
Not
what?
good.
They will destroy our country. The country
Not
would have been
good.
destroyed already. We're fully rebuilding the U.S. military with more than $1 trillion we're spending on the military.
Gotta use that on. He's gonna talk about Iran.
And in June, we obliterated Iran's nuclear capacity in Operation Midnight Hammer. You saw that. People have been waiting for 22
that?
years to do that, and we
Whoa.
were right at the end. They were about a month away from having a nuclear weapon. We had to do it. And
Yep.
and by the way, there's another beautiful armada floating beautifully
crazy,
toward
isn't
Iran
it?
right now.
Was that
So
like the
we'll
fourth
see.
time? It's like the
I
fourth
hope,
time
I
today.
hope they make a deal. I hope they make a deal. They should have made a deal the first time they'd have a country. And just weeks ago, in a
Gave you the
spectacular
scripts?
operation in Venezuela, we brought the outlaw dictator Nicolas Maduro to face American justice.
Bring up the discombobulator. No way he does it. No way.
In one of the most
No way.
brilliant,
No
lethal-
way is it 5.
quick, they've never seen violent operations ever seen, military operations ever seen. Nobody was killed, not on their side, a lot of people, unfortunately, I have to say a lot. We went into a very big, powerful military base with a group of unbelievable, talented, patriotic people that love our country. You couldn't hold them back. You know, the weather was off for 3 nights. It was
Wait a
not
minute.
good, so I
Hold on.
delayed it.
Wait.
I delayed it.
Wait.
The next night it was okay, but not great. I said, General, sir, they're ready to go, sir, they're okay. I said, but the weather's a little bad. I said, sir, they're ready to go. I said, God bless you, General. And boy, did they do a job.
They did. They got his ass. They nabbed him.
Joe Biden and his allies, in conclusion, in Congress did everything they could to destroy our country, but
4
they
for
failed.
5 is pretty
And
good.
today, after just 1 year since my second inauguration, you know, we have a
Yeah.
new hat. It's called America is Back. America is back.
Back
Our
again.
border is secure. Our spirit is restored. Inflation is stopped. Incomes are up. Prices are down.
The 2%.
Our economy
man.
is roaring. Our workers are
Wow.
thriving. And our country is winning again, winning like never before. We've never had a period of time like this. You've never had a period of time.
That's insane.
I just left a great group of people from Iowa, and half of them were crying as they talked to me. I don't think they were crying because I'm doing a bad job.
I told y'all this shit was going to happen.
Cry if you do a bad. They would cry because I've done a good job. Sir, they said, sir, you've brought our country back. Crying, crying. One woman was fantastic. She grabbed me and she put her head right there, and her tears are pouring all over my beautiful suit. I figured I'd get it. And I checked it out, and there was a lot of makeup all over. I said, what the hell am I going to do? I got get myself in trouble. No, but she was crying, and I said, don't cry. Be happy. Be happy. With the help of the incredible people of Iowa, we're repairing 4 long years of disaster and decline, and we're beginning what will be known as the greatest years in the history of our country. I believe that, too.
It's pretty good. That's really good. Don't cry, be happy.
We are entering a period that will be called the golden age of America.
No way.
That's what's happening.
No way he doesn't close.
So together with all of you, and you were with me from the beginning, all 3 times we won by a lot. I don't know if you remember, but before I got involved, this was really a Democrat state. You know that. I don't want to bring it up. And then I came along, and it wasn't Democrat very long, and our great chairman did such
I'm really feeling it, man.
Oh, boy, oh, boy, you could do anything. I've offered him.
It's been a while.
Come to Washington. Come to Washington, take any position. But he likes it. He just doesn't want to leave. I think you just want to stay in Iowa. I don't blame you. But you are fantastic.
Oh, it's a B.
But we've won all 3 times by a lot. But this until we came along, this used to be a Democrat state, and then we turned it. Barack Hussein Obama, have you heard of him? He won both times, didn't he win both? He won twice, you know. Barack Hussein Obama, wonderful president, really brought people together, didn't he? But Barack Obama won twice, you know, and so everyone said, well, Iowa, you know, they had this down as not winnable, and we won in a landslide. 3 times we won in a landslide.
Now you're seeing it, aren't you?
Together with all of you, the citizens from all across this incredible, beautiful land, we will make America powerful again. Oh, we've done it. We will make America wealthy again. We will make America healthy again. That's happening. We will make America strong again. We will make America proud again. We will make America safe again. And most importantly, we will make America great again. Thank you, Iowa. Thank you.
Oh, my God. Well, some people might wonder, how is it that you're able to predict what he's going to say? It's because I had to listen to my fucking dad ramble on about bullshit for hours and hours and hours and hours and hours and hours and more hours and for more time. And if you spend like years listening to an old man meandering around discussing something that he said 50 times before, and now he's saying it again, and you try to interrupt him and you tell him, I know this story, and then he's like, oh fuck, you interrupted me, now I have to tell the story back from the beginning again. If you've had this happen for the last fucking 30 years, you start to notice a pattern. You do. And I never said this while he was alive because he fucking hated Trump. But the way that my dad would talk and the way that Trump would talk, just like their cadence, their demeanor, and the way, it's like the kind of way they would just weave around and just say random things, the exact fucking same. It is. I would say this was a good speech. I think this was definitely him saying the 2% of people commit 90% of the crimes. Like, that really, like, I don't even know what to say.